Most people assume that having no friends means something is missing. But psychology suggests something else. Sometimes, nothing is missing at all. Sometimes, something unnecessary was removed. I used to think social isolation always meant loneliness. Over time, I realized that for certain minds, being alone isn't painful, it's clarifying. When you spend time by yourself, your thoughts stop competing for space. You notice patterns. You think more clearly. And once that happens, forced social interaction starts to feel off. Here's something most people don't talk about. Not all social discomfort comes from insecurity. Sometimes it comes from awareness. Think about this. You could be in a room full of people, nothing goes wrong, nobody is rude, yet you still feel drained afterward. That exhaustion isn't random. It's your brain reacting to interactions that require too much adjustment. People who go long periods without friends often have a very low tolerance for inauthentic behavior. Not because they're judgmental, but because their mind notices inconsistencies quickly. When words don't match behavior, when interest feels performative, or when conversations repeat without meaning, their attention quietly disengages. At some point, the brain makes a simple decision. Being alone costs less energy than pretending. And that's when solitude becomes a preference, not a punishment. There's also the depth factor. Some people don't struggle to make friends. They struggle to stay interested in shallow connection. Small talk doesn't stimulate their thinking. Recycled opinions don't hold attention. They're drawn to ideas, motives, and meaning. So instead of collecting acquaintances, they wait. Not for perfection, but for resonance. Here's a relatable moment many people recognize. You finish a conversation and later replay in your head, not because it was bad, but because it felt empty. No insight, no exchange, just noise. That's not social anxiety. That's misalignment. Another reason solitude feels natural for some people is energy processing. Certain nervous systems absorb more information in social settings. Tone, emotion, microexpressions. That level of processing burns energy fast. While some people feel energized by conversation, others need silence afterward to recover. Not because they dislike people, but because their brain works harder during interaction. I once thought this meant being bad at socializing. It doesn't. It means social energy is limited and you spend it intentionally. This also explains why highly independent people often have fewer friends. When you don't rely on external validation to feel grounded, you stop maintaining connections out of obligation. You don't need constant feedback, entertainment, or reassurance. Needing less naturally raises standards. And when standards rise, circles shrink. Past experiences matter too. Many people who are cautious socially learned, at some point, that access has consequences. Once trust is broken, the brain doesn't close, it becomes selective. It observes longer. It waits for consistency. From the outside, that looks like distance. From the inside, it feels like self-respect. Here's the key takeaway. Having few or no friends doesn't automatically mean something is wrong with you. It may mean your mind values depth over noise, peace over performance, and meaning over frequency. Sometimes, the strongest minds walk alone, not because they can't connect, but because they refuse to force connection that costs them clarity. If this perspective made something click for you, stay here. This channel breaks down psychology in ways most people never hear. And the next video might explain something about yourself you've felt for.